Hello and welcome back for another episode of Craven Some Raven. Just got back from the casino, made my bets for this upcoming week 3. This was supposed to be my the week 3 dick picks episode. Dick picks as in, like an NFL pick'ems. But me and my buddy, we decided to call them dick picks because it's funny. I don't know. It's kind of stupid. But our paths ended up not working out, or schedules. I ended up going to the casino that we normally go to, and we were talking about going to a different casino, one that's a little bit closer and one that's nicer, not as ghetto, but it is Albuquerque, so they're all ghetto. But so he went to that one and I went to this one. So we will be recording that one, I guess, tomorrow. If you're into the whole pick'em sort of thing, a little preview. This past week I went 11-5. So hey, I know something. That's a playoff team right there, man. So, I made my bets, a little preview. I got money on the Raiders upsetting the Vikings, and they were at plus 350, I believe. So, yeah, it's going down on that episode. So, I will be recording that one tomorrow with him. I normally like to bust that one out a little bit earlier in the week, right when the lines come off. So, we go to the casino on either a Monday or Tuesday. Neither of us work that day, or at least our schedules kind of match up that sort of way. So, we can go to the casino, have a good time, make some bets, spend all our goddamn money, and then get out of there and record a podcast about it. But that did not work out, so that'll be tomorrow, like I said. So this is going to be my previews and predictions for this game versus the versus Kansas City Chiefs. The previews and predictions, all the great old P words, like Patrick Mahomes and physics or psychology. You know how, this is off topic, but you know how like the military, they have their alphabets like Tango, Whiskey, Foxtrot, Tango again. Anyways, it'd be funny to make like a reverse one where the first letter doesn't actually sound like the name. I'll give an example, I guess. So I'll just spell my name. S as in should I? T as in tsunami? E as in envelope? Is that spelled with an E? I don't even know. I think it is. P as in pterodactyl. H as in herbs. E as in envelope again. N as in, I don't got one, I guess. Pneumatic? No. I don't know. I can't think of an N one. If you can, please let me know. Put it in the comments. But either way, that's not what this is about. I'm already way off track. So, rearing this thing back towards towards the win column. This is the most important game we've had so far this season. This is the game. I've talked about it before, but the Ravens, they weren't going to get any credit until after this game. It was all going to be about who we played and the level of competition that the Ravens have played, as in, we played the Cardinals and the Dolphins. Both teams perceived to be terrible. And I thought the Cardinals, they're pretty nice. But I talked about that in the previous episode, so we won't have to revisit that. But the Kansas City Chiefs, the good old barbecue pit, Kansas City. I'm hungry right now, and I'm ready to feast on some Kansas City Chiefs. That barbecue is looking mighty tasty. My taste buds are salivating? No, taste buds don't salivate. Your glands do. Saliva. Anyways, this is going to be one of the toughest games all year. I think this is going to be a very good game, and I think it is the NFL's game of the week. I wish they could actually flex this game, because they should. They really should. It was a great game last year. Both teams are 2-0. Both teams have a quarterback vying for that MVP, award. Both players are in that column of, hey, this guy could be the MVP. Lamar Jackson's getting that hype. Patrick Mahomes already won it, and he's just on pace to even do better than he did last year. But hey, man, this is going to be a good game. I could see this being a shootout. I could see it being a shootout, really. Last game, what was it, like 27-24? So it was a close game, and Lamar Jackson is another year more advanced, I guess. He's improved tremendously throughout the offseason. We've all seen that so far. I've predicted it all offseason since I started this podcast that Lamar Jackson is going to do great. He's going to do great things in this league, and now it's coming to fruition. And we got to go up into Arrowhead, which, what a name for a stadium. Is that stadium sponsored by anything, or is it just sponsored by Native Americans? We all talk about the Redskins, but the Chiefs, that's also a little bit racist. Not as bad, not even close to as bad. But yada hey, I mean, what are you going to do? Yada hey now. So, I don't know where to start with this. I mean, I'm dubbing this game Battle of the Baby Goats because, listen, once Tom Brady, Drew Brees, it's already looking like Ben Roethlisberger, and Eli Manning, he's now the backup. So once all these older guys, these older quarterbacks leave, now who is going to take the place as the GOAT of the league? Patrick Mahomes has already kind of taken that title, but I think Lamar Jackson's going to be one of those guys also in that discussion. You got like Watson, getting sacked Watson. I don't have a nickname for him yet, but it'll be on the lines of that when I come up with one, because all he does is get sacked. And I don't think it's just his O-line. But like I said, this is about Ravens versus the Chiefs. Red versus purple. I mean, I don't know where to go with this one, where to go from here. But yeah, Battle of the Baby Goats. A little bit all over the place. Once you go to the casino, you spend some money, you get hyped. And there is no high like having some money on the NFL, because I love the NFL. I'll watch it all day. Every Sunday, once football season starts, I am planted wherever I'm at. Usually I watch the games at home, but if I go out to like a sports bar or something, watch all the TVs, man, I am glued. I am floored by all the excitement of that the NFL kind of brings to my eyeballs. And once you put money on it, once you got some real life dollar bills on a game, god damn is it exciting. It's exciting. It's painful when you lose. I never put a lot of money because I like to bet. The rules of the dick picks. I like to put money on each and every game. Now, I wasn't able to put money on the Cardinals versus the Panthers game because Cam Newton's hurt and none of the lines, I guess, were out yet for that. They haven't swayed the picks yet. But, it's still just a lot of fun. Please, if you have the opportunity to go to a casino or even just bet online, you can use MyBookie, which is not a sponsor, but it could be because I used to use them all the time and still kind of do every once in a while, just making bets left and right. And it is a lot of fun. And you don't got to bet your whole wad of cash, Like, do what I do. Spend $5 on each game. It ends up being like $80, if that. You spend a little extra here, maybe a little there. Put your football knowledge to use, which is what I have started doing, and I love it. This past week I came out with $76. I ended up spending $70. So hey, that's a profit of $6, baby. And then it's just that high, that excitement that you get. It's one of the best highs you can get being sober, and I am sober currently because I'm on probation, because of DWI, but that's neither here nor there. So I got to do shit like this, get my fix. Because, I'm craving some Raven, all right? I got a fever, and the only prescription is some more Ravens football. And this game is going to be the one, right? We got Tony Romo coming back doing the calls. I can't wait to see him try and predict what Greg Roman's got scheming up with Lamar Jackson versus that trash Kansas City defense. Because I love Tony Romo on the calls. He gives great insight, and he always tries to predict the play pre-snap, and he does a pretty good job. But I don't think he's going to have too much luck predicting this Greg Roman offense because we're doing it a little bit differently with a Lamar Jackson. And Tony Romo, he's not a running style quarterback. He may know the game of football, but it's changing. I think the Ravens are the leaders of this change with this mobile quarterback and it having a lot of success. Now, people have done it before, obviously. But I just think the Ravens are the first ones to have major success with it. I mean, so far, you can point to the level of competition, but you know what? If you do that, then go fuck yourself. They're all professionals out there. Okay? So, Battle of the Baby Goats, man. Patrick Mahomes. Whew. Their offense. It's scary. It's pretty scary. But you know what? I don't feel terrible. Don't feel terrible about it. Don't feel overly nervous. I always have the little bit of puckering when it just comes to football. That's just what happens. When the game starts, it's like, ooh, come on, third down, what's going on? What they can do? But I'm just a little bit more nervous with this game. Not a crazy amount, not as much as I should be, but only a little bit, because they don't have Tyreek Hill. And he's the one who caught that crazy 4th and 9 pass. It was like 40 yards down the field that lost us that game. He had a bunch of crazy plays that game. And he is their big play, crazy play guy. And he's not in the game. Now, we don't have Jimmy Smith or Tavon Young. But, this Chiefs offense, they put up points. But last week against the Raiders, they put up 28, which is, it's good. But it was all in, the second quarter, which is crazy. He had that crazy second quarter. But after that, did they score? I should probably look up, what the final score of that game was, actually. Let me grab my iPad and check on these scores, because I don't want to be saying this and be completely wrong. I'm wrong sometimes when I speak, but, whatever. Let me double check on this. Double check this bad boy. This wants to open up. Let me go week 2, not week 3. Where you at, B? Where you at, son? Yeah, so 28-10. That was the final score of the Chiefs versus the Raiders. And the Raiders, they don't have some great defense. They're not known for defense. They may have a better offense this year than people think, and that's just because of John Gruden. But their defense, it ain't all that. And the Chiefs were only able to put up 28. Now, this is one of the most exciting, most explosive, just Mahomes in general. It's just exciting to watch. Very explosive offense. Very tough to defend. Vertical attack, downfield throws. That I'm actually surprised that they only put up 28. And it was all in that second quarter, too. So, I know I said we don't have Jimmy Smith, we don't have Tavon Young, and that cornerback position, it was the strength coming into this year. And now with 2 major injuries to 2 of our top 3 cornerbacks, I think, if you were to rank all of our quarterbacks, we got 4 starting caliber cornerbacks, right? Where you got Marlon Humphrey, I think then it goes Jimmy Smith, then Tavon Young. No, maybe... Yeah, I'll keep it with that. And then Brandon Carr. So, you lose 2 of your top 3. That's never good. Luckily, we were so deep at the position. We got Anthony Averett coming in. People say he wasn't playing all that well. He's got to turn his head. But listen, cornerback not turning their head, that is something that is just rampant around the NFL. That is something that every team suffers from. Every cornerback really does suffer from that. It's an issue across the league. So I'm not happy about it, but it's just the way the kind of NFL is nowadays. If you're a man-to-man corner, you are going to be turned to the quarterback a lot. And, when to turn around and look, that is something that is, I don't think it can be taught. Because then you got to look away from the guy you're covering, the guy you're chasing, the guy you're trying to be sticky to. And the second you turn, you think the wide receiver can do that street ball kind of thing where he widens his eyes and looks like he's getting the ball, and then you turn around. Next thing you know, he's cutting up the field to get wide open, And players do that. I remember even playing football in the backyard back in the day, okay? Back in the day. And people would do that. That was a trick I used to use all the time when I was wide receiver getting covered by one of my friends. Just look up, widen your eyes, and then he turns around to locate the ball, and then that's when you cut upfield and get open. Used to kill the kids in the neighborhood with that. But they're doing it on a professional level, so they can't let their man go. And I'd rather have them be sticky and not turn their head than turn their head and get beaten like crazy, because that looks even worse. So Anthony Averett, keep doing you. I love it. I love what you're doing. I think you've been playing better than expected, and I don't appreciate the hate. But that's what happens with the NFL. Any small little thing, you get bashed on for. So The Chiefs offense versus the Ravens defense. I think the Chiefs, they're going to put up points. I don't think there's a way around it. I think once the Chiefs get to the 40-yard line, they're going for the end zone. Looking at that last game with the Chiefs, every single touchdown came on the 40-yard line. They'd be right over the 50, and they would take a shot to the end zone. And it just happened to work. So I think maybe why the rest of the game they didn't score any more points is because they kept trying to do that. And it's not going to work every time. So I think if the Raiders are able to stop the Chiefs for 3 quarters, I think the Ravens are going to be able to do it. I think the Ravens are going to have a chance with a good defense and a great pass rush. That wasn't their strength. The pass rush was not the Ravens' defensive strength. It was their corners. But as of 2 weeks, the Ravens lead the league in quarterback hurries or quarterback hits. Either way, we are just consistently getting to the quarterback. And you got to be careful with these blitzes and the blitz concepts when you do it to a Patrick Mahomes, because he knows how to get out of trouble and find the open man. He is a wizard when it comes to throwing the ball. And that does have me a little bit puckered. But I think we'll fare well. If we can just get over it and say, hey, they're going to put up points. We just have to be able to put up points with them. And getting to the offense, I think we can. This is, as a Ravens fan, you guys all know, we're not used to this. This is an offensive team. As of right now, I can honestly say that the Ravens are an offensive-minded team. Maybe not minded team, it's just the offense, I think, is better than our defense. And we have a good defense. We've always had a good defense. We've been spoiled. When the Cardinals put up 17 points, it was like 17 points. What? We're the Ravens. You can't be putting up 17 points. We've been spoiled by defense, right? And the way the league has kind of moved towards offense, just putting up crazy points, we've continued to have a good defense. And we have just been far too spoiled. Whereas 17 points, 10 points, it feels like too much. I feel like Art Modell and Steve Bisciotti, they're just salty when it comes to another team scoring on them. They're like, never again. They're not putting points on us. Fuck them. Keep them out of the end zone. I'm putting all the money on the defense, which I love. I've learned to love. Live to love. We've all just got accustomed to a defensive-minded team, a close game that comes down to the offense. Will they be able to make that one play or won't they? But now, making plays all freaking game. And in a way, that's impossible to defend. What are you going to stack the box because Lamar's a running quarterback and they have a good running game? What are you going to stack the box? Okay, we'll just throw it right over you to Hollywood Brown or to Mark Andrews. What are you going to now cover them because they're 2 of the top receivers in the game? Let alone tight end. Mark Andrews is the top tight end, but when it just comes to pure receiving of the football talent, Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews are up there. They are top of the league. The cream of the crop. Speaking of Kansas City, do they grow corn there? I don't know. But cream of the crop. So, no matter how you want to defend this offense, we have an answer. Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson have an answer for each and everything. And so far through 2 weeks, they've been able to prove it. And this Chiefs defense, they're mediocre. They're middle of the pack to mediocre. I don't think they're the worst by any means, by any stretch. But I think we'll be able to move the ball. I genuinely do. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be able to do so. I mean, they got the Honey Badger. He's old. Tyrann Mathieu. He's getting old. He's not as fast as he used to be. I don't know who. They don't have Marcus Peters anymore, right? I don't know who their corners are. I genuinely don't. And it's not like I would. I mean, only if they had elite level corners, because I don't follow them, right? I don't follow their team, so I wouldn't know their guys unless they were good, unless they were a top level guy at their respected positions. Linebackers, I don't know who their linebackers are. Their pass rushers, what's that guy's name? Chris Jones? Is he a lineman? D lineman or what? I don't know. But And then that other guy who got a bunch of sacks against us. Anyways, I think they have a decent pass rush, so that has me worried because we haven't seen Lamar Jackson go up against a good pass rush. Now, he's been rushed, he's been sacked, but he is so mobile, so quick, and continues to look downfield. And he's just an athlete that knows how to get out of trouble in the backfield. So someone's coming on him, he can just go take off and run, or get out of trouble and tell his receivers, hey, come back to the line of scrimmage and throw them the ball on a rope. I think he's proven that he can do that. And the strides that he's made this year, they have been seen every single Sunday. Only 2 Sundays, but he's proven it. We've seen the improvements. We've seen the pinpoint accuracy that he can throw the ball with. Impressive, man. Just impressive. And that's why I love it, man. I'm in love with Lamar Jackson. No. Listen, I've been singing his praises for the longest time, and I've had some lofty goals that I think he can reach. I've said MVP, I've said Hall of Fame, I've said all of these crazy things. And the more and more I see him play, the more and more I think, God damn it, I was right. Man, God damn it, I was unequivocally right. I don't know if unequivocally is the right word to use there, but I think I'm looking good. Looking good with my preseason predictions. Not preseason, but before the season started predictions, right? Little lost for words. I don't know what else to say. I had some more thoughts. I had tons of things I wanted to say, but that's how it always goes with these podcasts. I don't have like a list of stuff I usually want to talk about. I usually just go, during the day, think, oh, I should talk about this when I talk about this game. And then I end up forgetting. I say it damn near every podcast because it's true. This is off the cuff, off the dome, off the tip of the tongue, just shooting words into the internet. That's what this is. That's what this podcast is about. And it's about me spitting some Craven, some Raven. Because aren't we all? Aren't we all Craven, some Raven? Craven Some Raven's not a podcast. It's a way of life. So yeah, this is going to be one of the most exciting games of the year, honestly. Not just Ravens season, but I think NFL-wide. I think when it comes down to these two teams, I believe being top teams in the AFC, 2 of the top 3 teams, I think the Patriots are still number 1 up there, and they haven't proven me otherwise, and they won't until they lose. And like I said, 2 weeks, but I mean, proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is getting put on the table. Putting the pudding on the table, and it tastes amazing, because I love me some NFL. Is that chocolate? Tapioca? I don't know. But yeah, so these 2 of the top teams in the AFC facing off, and god damn it, they should make this the night game. Why did they not even put it in the afternoon game when they made the schedule? They all saw how the game ended last year. It went to goddamn overtime. And that was a first-year Lamar. That was a 21-year-old Lamar. He just got his drinks. He just ordered a drink at the bar for the first time. And he went out and took the Chiefs to overtime. And the Chiefs were just as good last year. And we took them to overtime. And I think the Ravens have improved more than the Chiefs have. The Chiefs, they can't improve much more than they did last year. Or they were already at the tippy top of the NFL. Not the tippy top, but I mean, they were one of the top teams. They made it to the championship game, right? Did they? They played yeah, because they whooped up on, I think, the Colts, right? I think so. Yeah, I think so. And then they lost to the Patriots. They couldn't get over that hump. But you know what? The Ravens could beat the Patriots. They've proven they can do that in the past. John Harbaugh doesn't get scared, but Andy Reid does, apparently. Andy Reid gives a fuck. John Harbaugh, he gives no fucks. But this is about the Chiefs versus the Ravens. And why this game, I think it'll solidify them I guess is a good way to put it. Solidify them as a top team in the AFC, because as of right now, you can always have the backdoor kind of comment or backdoor excuse that, hey, the Ravens, they only played the Dolphins and they only played the Cardinals. Now, I think the Cardinals are better than people think, and I've talked about that before. But listen, they can still just say that, and it's okay. They can have their criticisms. They had their criticisms about what this offense was going to do and how Lamar was going to play. And all those people, they were wrong. They were wrong. And you know what? We were all right. At least Ravens fans who sung the praises of Lamar, we were right. And me personally, I was right about Lamar, and I think I'm right about this game. I think it's going to be a close one, and I think the Ravens come out on top. I really do. I think we have made the improvements from last year to win this type of game, to win an offensive shootout. We have the weapons in place. We have the offensive scheme that can go up against anything. So I really think we're going to come away with the win with this one. We're going to go up there. We're going to eat some barbecue. We're going to throw our barbecue sauce on the ground. I don't know. It kind of sounds like a waste, but we're going to do that right in their face and say, hey, fuck your sauce, bruh. Lamar Jackson's the only sauce we need, which kind of sounds gross when I think about that, but but I've talked about it before. Lamar Jackson, he's got the sauce, man, and everybody's starting to see it, and that's why his MVP discussion has now gone national. It's not just me sitting here or Ravens fans just talking amongst themselves. It's now made it to the national level. And, I think it's well-deserved, but it always has me nervous when the national media starts giving the Ravens credit, because that's usually when they throw a dud out there. Anytime the Ravens, in the past, they've started to get a lot of recognition and a lot of hype, that's usually when they throw up one of their worst games. That's how it always works. But that's a Joe Flacco offense. And that style of offense, it's predictable. It's boring. And it takes some crazy plays that the defense sees coming and says, damn it, we knew that was coming. How did we not stop that? We'll get them next time. And they usually do. And the next drive, and they stall out for the rest of the game. And then everyone's like, well, we were high on the Ravens, and now we're like, that was a bad idea. We really should have seen this coming. But this time, it's Lamar Jackson, baby. The Action Jackson. It's going to Hollywood. I mean, this is just an exciting team to watch. That's why everyone's nationally getting behind them, because you want to watch this game. This isn't a boring team, and it is about goddamn time. I didn't realize how starved I was for offense. You just get used to, all right, we'll stop them here, 3 and out, and we'll get back on the field. We'll win the position or the field position battle, which we still do. But we got that offense, baby. Offense. Defense wins championships, but offense will win you the regular season. And obviously, I'll keep saying it week 2. I know. But this is the game. This is the game. Now, I wish I had more breakdown. It turns out this podcast is just me hyping up Lamar Jackson, which most podcasts, that's what it ends up being. But I'm trying to hype up this game. And I don't think it needs to be hyped up. I think everybody already is hyped about this game. And I still am ticked off that it's not an afternoon game. Like, why the hell? Like, how are you going to have Jets versus Browns on Monday night, thinking that that's gonna bring everybody in? Yeah, great idea, NFL. The New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. 3 to 5 years ago, you would have told us that. You would shut the fuck up, NFL. That is a terrible idea. Why you keep doing this? Why are you doing this to us? But we got a great game. I love when Romo calls the games. I already said it, but I love his insight. I love the way he calls the game. I just can't wait to watch this one. I can't wait to be on the edge of my seat. Tickets are half price because you'll only be using the edge of your seat. Sunday. So yeah, not much more than I can say. Um, Ravens have a good offense. Chiefs have a bad defense. Ravens have a good defense. Chiefs have a great offense. So that's the battle right there, man. We've won the time of possession. I think we're leading the league in time of possession per game, and I think we try to do that. I think I saw something about it being like 70% chance of rain that day, which I think that helps us out because I think we got a better run game. They're susceptible. Their defense is not that great at defending the run, and their offense, they won't. Passing becomes more difficult in the rain, and that's all of their offense. And so if this is a bruise 'em, thump 'em up kind of game, this is a down and dirty game, we're going in there. That is a Ravens nest kind of game. You come into the nest, even though we're going to their house, but you come into the nest, you try to play our game, you will lose because we have a style of game, and that is time of possession, field position, defense, and Lamar Jackson. And you can't defeat all of those things. You may be able to defeat one. Yeah, good luck. Maybe. Maybe their offense can defeat our defense. But everything else, we are going to win those other categories. And that's why I think we come out with the win. A close one. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime again. Hopefully it does. Free football. That's what I always call it. When it goes to overtime, that is some free football right there. But I know I said it was previews and predictions, so I guess I'll do some predictions. I think Earl Thomas gets an interception. I think we get like 4 sacks on defense. And I think final score. What am I going to say here? What am I going to say, huh? 34-27 Ravens. Yup. I'm going with it. Locking it in. Dick pick of the week. Let's go. Whew. It's exciting, man. And it's not just exciting because I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I want to segue into something else. Because there is a lot of talks about a measly little cornerback from Jacksonville, or in Jacksonville, from the swimming pool to the flock. Now, he hasn't come here yet, and he hasn't gone anywhere yet. And I think, I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey, by the way. I think Jalen Ramsey, I think he might end up becoming a Ram because, well, he's Ramsey. You know what I mean? Like, he's just Ramsey, He just seems all Ramsey, like a Ramsey kind of guy. But, no, I think everybody should want Ramsey on their team. He is the best cornerback in the league. I think Stephon Gilmore is also up there, but I think the swagger and the lockdownness monster of Jalen Ramsey is huge. You can't draft that, so it becomes the whole debate. What are you willing to give up? Because you're also going to have to pay him. But that's the kind of guy, that is a cornerstone of your team for the next 6, 7, 10 years. However long he's able to still play the position. But he can play anything on defense, really. He hits like a linebacker and runs like a gazelle. He is a lockdown, shutdown corner. And if you're talking like not just this season, but going into the future, and Jalen Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey, and Tavon Young, you're going to have to pay all three. And I'm okay with that. If they put all their money into the cornerback position, I am okay with that. Because the cornerback position, you can't do it by committee. You need that one guy. Like when it comes to pass rush, I don't want to pay a pass rusher premium pass rusher numbers. I don't want that kind of contract on the roster or on the team's books. Because you can get away with doing it by committee, especially with Wink Martindale's blitz schemes. We're leading the league in quarterback hits. And we don't have that guy, But when it comes to the cornerback position, you need that guy. Like I said, you can't do it by committee. You need a sticky cornerback, especially if you're like us and love to play man-to-man football on the outside. And Jalen Ramsey is the pinnacle of what that means, especially in today's NFL, where I guess in recent years, the lockdown corner, that's kind of been a thing of the past. You can't do it as much. With all the rules going towards the offensive side of the ball, it makes it impossible. But Jalen Ramsey is one of the few guys to do it. I think Marlon Humphrey's there too. He just hasn't gotten the recognition. He's not as loud as a Jalen Ramsey. But I think, it's whatever price they're asking, if you have the ability to get that guy, it is worth it. And, I know that they tried to trade up with the Cowboys to try and go ahead and get Ramsey before the Jacksonville Jaguars had a chance to. We all know how that ended up. We ended up getting Ronnie Stanley, a cornerstone of this team, who we're also going to have to pay. But I think you get those. That's like two of the top. That's two of the top, like 3 guys, 4 guys. I put them up there as top guys in that draft class. And you can get 2 of them. That is awesome. I'd rather have the debate of how do we pay these guys than having the debate of, damn, we should have gotten Ramsey. Because he would, that position group, if you had a Ramsey, Tavon Young, and Marlon Humphrey, that is an elite position group to the point where that can win you a Super Bowl. That can get you to the promised land. That, any position group really, if you are that solid across the board, I don't care what position group it is, if you have one position group that is super dominant, it can win you games. And that is something that can win you games. And I think we have been good enough drafting. Like, if we just dump all of our money into the cornerback or into just the secondary, because we also got Tony Jefferson and Earl Thomas, we would put so much money into that secondary. It would be so elite, but it's worth it. Our ability to draft, just fill in every other position. It is so worth it to have that guy. And I know some people say, hey, he talks too much. He's kind of a diva. He has an attitude. Listen, I love attitude. I love a guy who plays pissed off. And I think a lot of that negativity, like, that's put on his name, it's because he's on a bad team. And so when he acts out, it's always seen negatively. But that's because he's on a bad team. They're not producing. You're not going to have a good time. If you're not winning, you're not going to have a good time. So I think he's deserved that right to talk shit. I think he has, because he's put it up. He's talked the talk and walked the walk. So I think he's deserving of whatever the Ravens were willing to give up, and I hope they are. Now, I know it's Eric DeCosta. He doesn't want to give up draft picks. But I think as a GM, you got to realize, hey, you got to build this team. And you have the ability to get the number 1 corner in the league. That doesn't just happen. Recently it's kind of been happening more and more where these star players kind of say, hey, I want to leave, let me leave. And that's been happening more and more. So maybe we'll have another opportunity to make our shot on a different guy. But I think this is the time you want to make that move. This is the guy that, if you're going to overpay, overcompensate another team for one guy, he's it. Because a great cornerback on a terrible team, it's not doing that team any good. Now it'll help you keep the score down, I guess. But a good team with a good cornerback, I don't know. It's a match made in heaven. It's PB&J, baby. Jalen Ramsey was meant to be a Raven. The style that he plays with, he's got that dog mentality that is Ravens. He exemplifies Ravens defense. And we have a chance to get him. Really, any team has a chance to get him, because he's not playing in Jacksonville. I saw his interview, and he didn't straight up say it, but you could tell, because he didn't want to give, in his words, any of the bulletin board like quotes. He didn't want to give the media really anything, and he was honest with it. And but when it came to him, like, talking about what would it take, one of the reporters asked him, like, what would it take for you to keep playing in Jacksonville? And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to root for my guys Thursday. If I'm out there, I'm going to play my ass off. But listen, none of that matters, because he belongs on the Ravens. He deserves to be on a good team that can contend for a championship. I think this Ravens team can do that. And I think we're going to prove that this Sunday versus the Chiefs. Feels like a good place to end, but I don't feel like I'm done. I don't feel like it. I mean, I could talk Ravens football literally all day. And the prospect of getting Jalen Ramsey, will be huge. Huge. And I know that it kind of worries you when you're spending so much money in the secondary. But listen, this is a passing league. And if you have two guys with Marlon Humphrey and Jalen Ramsey, I think both of which can lock down one guy. You say, hey, anybody on the right side, Marlon Humphrey, that's your man. Anyone on the left side, Ramsey, that's your man. No one's doing anything against us. They'll be lucky to get 10 points. They'll be lucky to get 3. Now, am I overhyping everything? Sure. Probably. But whatever. I'm craving some Raven, man. This is what I do. Literally the most humble person in the world. No one's ever been this humble. And I feel like Ramsey when I say that. But Ramsey deserves it. He deserves to say shit like that. It makes me sick that he's on that team. I'm allergic to the bullshit. So listen, man, yeah, and if we get him before this game, it's going to be a short turnaround. You know, how is he even going to be able to help us? I think he could. He can just say, hey, Ramsey, you shadow Sammy Watkins all game. That is your job. You don't have to learn any of the calls this week. Just follow Sammy Watkins. And that's your job. And I think he would do it to perfection because he knows how to play corner. He knows how to play one-on-one. He knows how to be man-to-man and win that battle. He's proven he can do it. So let's bring him in, Eric DaCosta. Right player, right DaCosta. And no matter what DaCosta is, no matter what DaCosta, you got to pay it. I mean, you know, I get it. You're giving up a draft pick. You're giving up the potential of a top guy. But you don't know for sure. So yeah, man. Those are my thoughts on Jalen Ramsey. You know, I don't know if he wants to come here. You know, I don't know. But I know I want him to come here. And I think as Ravens fans, we should all want him to come here and welcome him with open arms. I hope this deal gets done while I'm recording this podcast. You know, I'm really hoping. Because we got this crazy game coming up against the Chiefs. And I think it's going to be a barn burner. I think it's going to be the best game of the week. I think it's going to be one of the best games of the year. I think it could be a preview of an AFC championship or a playoff game. And so I think there's a lot of storylines, a lot of through lines going into this game that are going to make it one hell of a game. Super exciting. I think their stadium's going to be rocking. So hopefully the offense, they can get their signals down. They can get their their sign language down. So, yeah, man. I'm sure I'll think of something else like I always do. And I know, damn, I should have said that. But you know what? We're at 43 minutes right now. I've talked your ear off enough. I'm just ready for this game. And it's only Wednesday, so god damn it, we got too much time. Like I said, I'll be recording my dick pics of the week. It sounds so ridiculous to say. But be doing the dick pics of the week tomorrow. So probably will be recording that while the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Titans game is going on. But just letting you know now, me and my buddy Nicolas, as of right now, have both picked the Jags to win. So, you'll be knowing if we're lying, okay? No lying. She's lying. The Ben Roethlisberger story. Yeah, Big Ben out. Man, this division is shaping up nice for us. Now, hopefully the Cleveland Browns continue their terrible ways. You know, that game was awful versus the Jets. I know they had like a few big plays, but man, Baker Mayfield throwing interceptions all over the yard these first few weeks and getting sacked like crazy. Not looking like what I thought he would. But you know what? Fuck the Browns, fuck the Bengals, and fuck the Steelers. Because we're craving some Raven, baby. So, with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like this. If you're on YouTube, like it, comment, share it. You know, let the people know that we're doing some good shit over here. If you're on iTunes, please give it a 5-star rating. I just looked at it, and it said I don't have enough ratings to give a rating, so god damn it. So people don't even know that this is a 5-star podcast. They don't even know yet. Not enough people have put in the time to say, hey, 5 stars. You know how easy it is? That's how easy. Did you hear that? Yeah, that's how easy it is. You just tap, right? Just tap the 5 stars. Please? Could you tap the 5 stars, please? Please? But no. This is going to be a great game. I'm already excited. My football boner it just hit the table. Did you hear that? Oh God. Whew, it's a big one. So, yeah, super excited, and I'm just going to leave it there, and I will leave you with a go. Ravens. Not bad.